If you thought the world was weird, wait till you see some of these people. We've got people that can't remember a thing, and we have people that have never forgotten a thing since they were 4 years old. We have a burn victim that was bullied and called Freddie Krueger, and about 7 other unique cases. So, here are the 10 rare humans that are 1 in a million. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. Johnny Quinn. Quote, "I'm just a naturally happy person, and dancing is one of my things," says Johnny as he's making a cup of morning joe. If you notice, he's not wearing a shirt, and you can see that his entire body is covered in burn scars. This is because of a tragic accident that happened when he was just 4 years old. A fire broke out in his house, and he was caught in the flames. His parents managed to save him and dragged him out. After being rushed to the hospital, doctors gave him about 8 hours to live. After 100 surgeries and countless hours in therapy, he's alive and thriving. That's how Johnny likes to refer to himself, because burn survivor doesn't suit him. Even though he has difficulty grabbing things, and he has to moisturize his entire body because the burns destroyed most of his oil glands, he's not complaining. He had a rough time at first, as kids threw rocks at him and called him Freddie Krueger, but he managed to get through it, and now he's the happiest person you could meet. Number 9. KAYLA. Do you see all of those scars all over KAYLA's body? Well, that's because she suffers from CRPS, or Complex Regional Painful Syndrome. You don't have to know the name. You just have to know that it's one of the most painful diseases you can have. Why? Well, partly because blistering and burns on the skin appear at random, and there's nothing you can do to minimize the pain. Can anyone actually get this disease? Nope. Unless you suffered a serious injury to your nerves, you most likely will never even hear of this disease. KAYLA got it by smashing her hand in between the door at the restaurant where she worked. The doctor told her that it's nothing she should be worried about, but soon after that, she started getting these burns all over her body, and she's been living like this ever since. If you're watching this video, make sure you smash that like button to show your support for these wonderful people. Number 8. Lady ARDILA. Lady is a Colombian girl that suffers from fibrous dysplasia. We'll talk about the disease, but first we want to cover how it all started. You see, back when Lady was just a baby, she had to undergo heart surgery. The operation was a complete success, but the doctors used a lot of steroids, and this is where the difficult journey started. Fibrous dysplasia is a disease in which scar-like tissue starts forming where there should be a normal bone. This is why Lady's face started growing, and the doctors told her that she would probably die at the age of 12. She is currently in her 30s, and boy did she prove those doctors wrong. And yes, Lady also didn't agree when the doctors told her she couldn't walk. She can do anything a normal person can. She is a normal person. And because of this disease, she has joined the body positivity movement and shares uplifting content on social media. Number 7. Mark Wubenhorst. Looking at this German man, you wouldn't think that there's anything wrong with him. Well, not all diseases are visible. Mark works as an architect and a tour guide who needs to drink 20 liters of water every day just to stay alive. You read that correctly. 20 liters per day. He started showing symptoms when he was very young. He would have this constant urge to drink water and go to the bathroom often. So, his mother took him to the doctor, and they told her that Mark has one of the rarest and possibly most lethal diseases in the world. Because he can go without water for about 2 hours, he keeps a 500-liter stash of water bottles in his garage. That will usually last him a month. Yeah, just a month. Number 6. ANASTASIA POKRESCHUK. Well, this is not a disease, and it's not something that's life-threatening. However, Nastia is one of the rarest humans in the world. Why? Because she has cheekbones the size of apples, and she has lips that could smother a baby. She says that she spent around $2,000 on fillers and wants even more of them. However, you shouldn't walk off thinking she does this to draw attention to herself. She didn't like the way she looked, so she changed it. She's more interested in looking pretty for herself. Nastia wants to love the person she sees in the morning every day, and if that person comes with pillow-like cheekbones, then so be it. Number 5. AURELIEN. Do you remember what you did on September 20th, 2011? Well, this student does, and that's not the only day he knows about. He can tell you what happened on any particular day since he was about 4 years old. Now, there are a lot of people with a good memory, but this guy is just insane. Imagine being able to remember what you did on a particular day when you were 5 years old. This is nothing new for Aurelien. He remembers anything from cleaning his room to passing his exams and going to the Cadbury chocolate factory with his family. This man is a walking, talking memory. His mother is noting everything she did in a notepad, not knowing that her son was already doing it for her. Number 4. Clive Wearing. Want to hear what it's like living with a 7-second memory? Presenting Clive Wearing, the man that was a conductor before he lost all of his memory. The only things he could remember were playing the piano and his wife. That's all. To make matters worse, he can't remember anything he did for more than 7 seconds. Back in 1986, there was a movie done about him, and he doesn't remember it. He didn't even remember agreeing to have the reporters film him. And yes, he can still play the piano, but if you ask him, Clive will tell you that he's never played a tune in his life. Number 3. ZANZIMAN. While the bullies call him Monkey because of his strange facial features, his mother couldn't be happier to have him as a son. You see, she had 5 children before him, and all of them died at a very early age. ZANZIMAN is the only one that survived, and he likes spending his days in the forest. When other kids approach him, he will oftentimes run away, and if you try to chase him, good luck. He's fast as lightning. He doesn't talk, he's not social, he just lives his life doing whatever he feels like. Number 2. Robert HOGE. Robert is a successful author, a political advisor, and a journalist. All of this success was sparked from one single birth defect. While he was still inside his mother's womb, he developed a tumor on his forehead that spread to his nose. The tumor was so big that it pushed out his eyes to the side. He looked strange. He didn't like the way he looked, but he constantly worked on it. And it's only after working a lot on himself and his face that Robert managed to accept his flaws, realize that they made him unique, and move on to become something bigger in life. Number 1. Paul Alexander. Back in the 1950s, there was a huge polio outbreak in the States. Most of the kids caught the disease, and many of them died. Paul Alexander is one of the few known survivors, and he spends the rest of his life in an iron lung. That machine looks like an incubator and helps him breathe, but don't feel too bad for him. Even though he spends his life laying down, he has still managed to finish law school, passing the bar exam, and he opened his own practice. When his clients see him, they first ask about the machine. Once he tells them his life story, they usually hurry to get him working on their case because he's relentless. On a related note, we wanted to know what you would do if you ever saw someone bullying one of these people. Would you walk away or would you defend them? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.